Ma'am, I think money can give us success.
Good. Yes.
Ma'am, I think power can make us successful and even courage.
Very good. You know, students, it's not only important to achieve success, but one has to maintain that success as well. So, can there be any success mantra or any keys that can help us to sustain the success throughout our lives? I know this is a tricky question, but in order to know about it, let's read today's story. So, dear students, in today's video, we are going to read a story about a king who always wanted to succeed in life. And he believed that in order to be a successful king, he should know answers to 3 questions. Let's know about these 3 questions through the story. Here goes the story. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew 3 things. These 3 things were: what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important thing for him to do? The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these 3 questions. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. After reading the text, we come to know that the king sent messengers to know answers to the 3 questions, and also he promised a reward in return. Let's read further. In reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything at its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures, and always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. This was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly without help from others the right time for every action. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. These things could never wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future, and only magicians could do that. So students, let's understand. The king got various responses from the wise men. Some said that he should follow a timetable or a schedule, the one that we follow in our schools. Some responded that the king should seek advice of the council of ministers. Council of ministers means a group of wise men. To which few others said that it was not possible for the king to wait for the decision of the council in case of urgency. So, they suggested to seek help of a magician because only magician could know the future. Let's read further. In their answers to the second question, some said that the people most necessary to the king were his counselors. Others said the priest. A few others chose the doctors. Yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. To the third question, some said science, others chose fighting, and yet others religious worship. As the answers to his questions were so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. So dear friends, as we know that the king did not get any satisfactory reply to the first question, but to our surprise, even for the second answer, he did not get the correct response. Some said the counselors, others said priests, few said doctors, and remaining said soldiers were the most important people for the king. The third question was about the most important thing to do. In reply to this question, some considered science and others found fighting and religious worship as the things of utmost importance. All these responses disappointed the king, and he decided to seek the help of a hermit. Hermit means a sage, who was known for his wisdom far and wide. The hermit lived in a wood, which he never left. He saw no one but simple people. And so the king put on ordinary clothes. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went on alone. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. He greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak, and as he worked, he breathed heavily. The king went up to the hermit and said, "I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I need most, and what affairs are the most important?" The hermit listened to the king, but did not speak. He went on digging. "You are tired," said the king. "Let me take the spade and work in your place." "Thanks," said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. So students, let's understand. The dissatisfied king went to the hermit dressed up as an ordinary man. He left behind his horse and bodyguard away from the hut. The old and the weak hermit was digging the ground. He greeted the king and continued doing his work. The king asked his 3 questions, to which the hermit remained silent. King realized that the hermit was tired enough to dig the ground, so he offered to dig the ground in his place. Let's see what happens further. "Thanks," said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. When the king had dug 2 beds, he stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit gave no answer, but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade